Hey, good morning, Patriots. It's good to see you all. It's a great day in the USA, as I always say. And it rhymes. So we're back with another action-packed episode of Wake Up, Patriots. Wake Up, Patriots. That's us. Anyway, so it was a good, busy news day yesterday. It's a lot of stuff going on. Kash Patel was in front of the Senate. And there's all sorts of hilarity which came out of that. Right now, as we speak, President Trump is meeting with the royals in London. He actually flew in. I watched his helicopter earlier fly in to see Prince, or I should say King something. I can't remember his name. Chris Kardashian's not a king, but he knows about kings.
Oh.
Which king is President Trump meeting with right now?
Oh, isn't it King Starmer?
King something, like King of the Hill. Is that who he's meeting with?
Or it could be Paul King, lead singer of King. I thought he was in Britain today, right? Or something.
He isn't. That's what I'm saying. He's meeting with the king, whatever the king, because it was Prince Charles. I can't remember what his king.
Oh, that's right, King Charles. That's right.
He's not King Charles. He changed his name. It's like the guilty parties always change their name. It's like an alias. He's like what is his name? King something.
I don't know. I always thought it was
King of England. And as Tom Petty says, it's good to be king, right? That's a great song.
Well, I'll tell you what. I always thought it was. It's always good to be king, I suppose, like that. Or maybe it could be cool to be Joe King Carrasco. Yet he's from New Jersey. So let's go with the guy from Coventry, Paul King. Of course,
Charles
King.
It is Charles. He took Charles III, King Charles.
Oh, that's right. So it's King Charles. Charles III. Yes, that's right.
So basically, King Charles is who President Trump's meeting with. Hold on a second.
All right.
So
it's the second time, by the way, he's doing this term. That's not well precedented, if you will. So
no.
With all these world leaders and symbolic leaders, they seem to want to be around Donald Trump, even though they say the opposite. And that's something that we should take into note. It could go either of two ways. Maybe they are let's say, paid or pressured to mouth what the New World Order says and maybe secretly want to talk to Trump, or want to try to bring Trump in the fold, which will never happen.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that you have so much chaos brought on by the folks who are royals, right? I mean, I'm pretty royally upset. I'm royally upset. Are you royally upset at all the chaos? I am.
Doesn't matter. I mean, the Royals are fine, but yeah. I'm more worried about what's happening with the Mets. But that's another story for another day.
Well, but are they playing the Kansas City Royals? Because the Royals are Royals, right?
Right. The Royals are the Royals. They've already played the Royals. And that's where my favorite player is, Vinny Pasquantino. Great name. Best name in baseball right now. Oh, we talked about that already.
Yeah. Another Italian name, right?
That's right.
Yeah, we talked about the Italians.
We Italians stick together.
Are the Italians better at baseball than, say, the Irish?
Then the Irish.
Not that I want to start a war.
Well, the Italians did make the World Baseball Classic. Ireland's part of Great Britain. They made the World Baseball Classic a couple of times. Italy was shocking because technically their professional baseball is growing, but they're kind of on the level of high A, double A baseball. They did some pretty good damage one year.
But you can't play. But there's no baseball in Italy. But Italians play it here. Why is that?
Well, there is baseball in Italy. It's just not major.
There is?
It's not major league caliber baseball. It's minor league.
I don't remember the Romans playing baseball. Am I missing something?
No. A lot of countries are adopting professional.
Is that what they did? They fed the Christians to the lions and they went off and played 9 innings of baseball?
Well, what happens is if you blow a save, you get eaten by a lion.
Right. That don't make sense now.
If you hit a batter, if you're a pitcher and you hit a batter, then you have to fight a gladiator.
Yeah. And that's so right. I guess Samson was a really great outfielder, right? Samson. Before he knocked down the temple and everything. So
yes. Now Caligula changed the rules a little bit, but let's not go into.
Well, I'll say he did. Man, oh man! Talk about after game shenanigans in the clubhouse.
Oh.
Gives a whole different meaning to a owner's box.
He did inspire Elon Omar to marry a sibling, so I guess.
Oh my, oh my. Well, we're getting off in a tangent already. Let's talk about what you want to talk about. So,
All
what
right,
do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about what you want to talk about. How about this? Kash Patel, you brought him up earlier today. He goes in front of the
I did.
Senate and makes them all look like fools. There's so
Oh
many to
yeah,
pick from. I thought I'd throw a couple in here. One was a
yeah.
really
Let's do
good
it.
one.
Let's do it.
That's right.
Yeah.
One was a really good one where it's, as you know, Adam Shifty Schiff always tries to catch his opponents off guard and never seems to do it well. He always succeeds in making himself look even stupider. So let's go to the videotape. I said, wait, let's do it the Warner Wolf way. Let's go to the videotape.
People to believe that? Do you think they're stupid?
No, I think the American people believe the truth, that I'm not in the weeds on the everyday movements
Oh,
of
you're not in
inmates.
the weeds.
What I am
The
doing is
most-
protecting
the
this
most-
country,
the
providing
most
historic
significant
reform,
witness,
and
the most
combating the
significant witness,
weaponization of intelligence
Epstein
by the likes
files
of you.
cover-up
And we have
gets
countlessly proven you to
from
be a
your
liar in
administration,
Russiagate, in
and you
January
call that
6th.
being
You are
in
the biggest
weeds?
fraud to ever sit in the
This
United States
stinks to
Senate.
high
You are a
heaven.
disgrace to this
This stinks to high
institution
heaven.
and an utter
And
coward.
I'm not surprised.
Coward.
I'm not
I'm
surprised
not
that you continue to
surprised
lie
that the-
from
the-
your
that the-
perch and put on a show
view
so you can go
of
raise
you-
money
Yeah.
for your
Good
charade.
reason.
You are a political buffoon at best.
Well, you can-
As this continues, look at the smoke coming out of Adam Schiff's ears right now because he just got burned. That's a burn.
take an internet troll.
Take
make-
it to
you
the
can take
bank
an
that the
internet-
FBI is protecting this
make an
country
internet
and the
troll,
state and
the FBI
citizens of the
director
California.
will
We
always
are bringing
have nothing
historic
more than an
reform.
internet
Point of
troll.
order. But all you care about is a child sex predator that was prosecuted by a prior administration, and the Obama Justice Department and the Biden Justice Department did squat. And what did President Trump do? Bring new charges courageously. And what have we done?
Chairman,
You said
take
I'm the
control
most
of this
transparent
situation.
FBI director in history.
Take control of this
33,000 pages of information to you. I
Walter.
challenge you to say anything credibly to the truth. Go ahead and run
All
that
right.
Yeah.
Cash is right. I'm glad. I don't always agree with some of his investigative techniques. I think there's some issues there, but he's completely correct here. Adam Schiff, for the record, and I think the Patriots are going to agree with this, has been not only anti-American. He is a seditious traitor. I don't know if we can get him on being full on for what is it? There's another term for that. Sedition. Sedition is a specific charge I think that could be held on him for the Russia collusion stuff. But Schiff should be in prison. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh yeah. He's been rather treasonous over his many years in office.
Yeah.
He's corrupt. He will look in the camera, deny everything, and the media will believe it. And again, it's because when the media hears a Democrat say something, it's like the word of God. How possible could the virtuous side of politics be when they have such great saints like like Adam Schiff and of course Cory Booker and the likes of that, and you look at the most corrupt cities in the nation right now, the most corrupt governments in the nation and the world, by the way, the vast majority of them are left leaning.
Yeah, that's true. Well, don't get me wrong. There is corruption on the conservative side and Republicans.
Of course there is. Of course there is.
But I think it's more accepted by the left, especially in Iowa. I'm not Iowa, in Illinois, Chicago, LA, San Francisco. I mean, it's the big blue cities. That's where most of it exists, and I think it's most obvious. And when Adam Schiff and others like him speak and act, because it's totally bad. And I'm glad Cash called him out. I'm surprised Cash got away with it. That's good. And then Cory Booker, is it Spartacus? I call him like he's a Spadicus. He's really Spadicus.
That's a good one.
but
Spaz,
he
spaz. That's what they
spaz,
should chant every time he talks. Spaz, spaz, spaz. That would be great.
spaz. Anyway, and then he had an exchange with him too, and he tried to I'm reclaiming my time. It's like, okay, nobody
Oh, yeah.
cares there, Spartacus.
Well,
Spartacus.
I was going to play him. But that was kind of too. We expect that stuff out of Cory Booker, and it really was nothing more than theater and patting himself on the back. This I
Right.
thought was rather interesting, a little off the investigative topic, but as you know, Maisie Hirono is an idiot,
Oh
and
my God.
and she is upset because Kash Patel does not want the FBI to become police academy. And she's upset because physical standards must be met in Kash Patel's FBI. So let's hear what she had to say.
Move on to my, you've been asked some questions about changes to your hiring
Is she
standard.
drunk?
Uh,
She sounds drunk.
Well, her and former Vice President Harris were actually out a little earlier before the show for their usual morning Chardonnay. So maybe that's where she had a little
I
bit.
was going to say, I mean, she was doing her own version of pull-ups, like pulling up her Depends after having a long conversation with the John Walker Black.
She can do 150 wine lifts in one morning, and
That's right.
before 11 o'clock.
That's
All
right. That's right. Man, oh man. All right, keep going. She's
and
she's
including
waxed.
college degrees and possibly the age. But, one question I had is,
One question. Go
Go on,
on.
keep going.
that you are not
We're waiting.
requiring applicants to be able to do a certain kind of pull-ups, which a lot of women cannot because of physiological differences. Are you requiring these kinds of pull-ups?
We are requiring a physical program at BFTC at Quantico because FBI agents carrying guns in the field have to chase down bad guys and do really hard work. The physical fitness standards of those agents
So are
being
you requiring
appropriately
these
assessed.
kinds of pull-ups?
We are requiring everybody to
Oh.
pass the 1811 standards at BFTC. If you want to chase down a bad guy
Excuse me.
and put
the
him in
reason I
handcuffs, you
ask-
better be able to do a pull-up.
The reason I ask is that there are concerns about whether or not being able to do these kinds of harsh pull-ups is really required of FBI agents.
Doing
Anyway,
one pull-up
Mr.
is not
Patel,
harsh,
I
and there are
am
always
greatly
medical
concerned.
Doing one
exemptions with
pull-up
that.
is not harsh. Yeah, I mean, let me take it from a guy who does 20 a day. One pull-up is not hard. I can see that you'd have to, women don't have a lot of upper body strength, but one pull-up, to work up to one pull-up, to be able to pull your own weight. Yeah. She's just
Well,
used
I
to
think
having.
that's the problem you have right there. This is Hirono. I don't think she's able to pull up her own weight, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the men at the FBI couldn't pull up her weight. But that's another story.
She has a hard time pulling up her own skirt. Just saying. I mean,
Hey yo!
look at that. No, I mean, look at her. And I mean, I'm serious. I'm completely serious about this. Why would any American or Hawaiian especially take her seriously? It sounds like she's literally been day drinking from probably about 5 a.m., starting off with 3 shots of Jack Daniels just to get out of bed. And then she can't even articulate clearly with a level of knowledge, because it sounds like she's not even sure what she's really asking. Yeah, well, these kind of standards, there's kind of standards, and you're kind of the FBI guy, right? It's like, aren't you the FBI guy? I think you're the FBI guy. I don't know. Let me look at my notes. Mr. Patel, do you know anything about this FBI?
Oh, the funny thing, Police Academy was a funny series of movies. That was great.
Yeah.
The premise, of course, as you might remember, is the physical standards and other mental standards and everything else were kind of put aside because there was a shortage in recruits. So the mayor decided anybody can join regardless of that. Well, the fact is the Democrats have been trying to make the FBI and CIA police academy, if you will, which again, a funny concept in the movies. It's great seeing Melissa McCarthy act like she's a spy, but the fact is you can't physically take down a bad guy. You're going to have trouble with this. You're going to be overrun. You're a danger to not only yourself,
Well,
or the people you're protecting,
I
but
don't
your
know.
partners.
if you were at a bar trying to pick up a bad guy, you might be able to take him down. Just saying. Melissa McCarthy could do that. Just saying. You know.
I know,
You
but
get-
you were.
A few shots of Jack Daniels. You know. I don't know.
But Maisie Hirono, I'll tell you what, she could probably close the bar. Well, she'd probably open it too. But
She'd be there for both.
but think about all the serious matters that this country's
So,
facing right
by
now.
the way,
and this woman's
I-
worried about standards being lowered for women, or standards. She says
Yeah.
standards should be lowered for women
Well,
against
so-
the FBI. With all the
Yeah.
changes
And by the
facing
way,
right now.
yeah. Yesterday on X, and by the way, if you don't follow me on X, do so. Go check it out. I said basically, if fungus wanted to become a human being, it would become Maisie Hirono, and it's true. She is like human fungus. I said it. It's on my thing. I didn't get suspended. By the way,
Not
a
yet.
program note on that account. As of this morning, Chris, you'll note
Yes.
this. I am back to 132K followers. 132. That is what I had before the purge in 2020. So it's taken how many years to get back to 132? Only 5 years to get back
Not bad.
to 132K.
Good job. Good
Yeah.
job, Tony Schaefer. That's
5
from
freaking years. Yeah.
0 to 132,000 in several years. And of course, there's a new subscriber tier. Tomorrow night, you have a very special guest on your Sentinel Circle. So we can talk about that too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, should I say it or should you say it?
Well, hold on. Go ahead. Go. You say it. I got a note from Newsmax leadership.
Oh,
We're
there we go.
negotiating. Keep going.
On
Keep going.
ColonelTonySchaefer.com, we're going to have Catherine, or Tony's going to have Catherine Herridge on.
Catherine.
and,
Yeah, she's coming on. Yeah.
This is going to be very important. We're going to be talking about some more serious matters behind September 11th, how we got there, very serious intelligence issues, and of course, seeking the real truth, and how Catherine Herridge has been working very hard to seek the real truth about that. And of course, Tony was in the forefront of it all. You're going to hear a lot about this. And these are things, again, we cannot discuss in public. And Tony, you can't discuss in public with her, but you can discuss with
Yeah,
in
so
in
there's a
smaller
couple
group.
of reasons why. People, I say, well, why? It's because we don't want to get sued, because it can't be a public statement. We can speculate a lot in private. It's like, yeah, these are our things we think. So that's one thing. Secondly, some of the stuff I really do think we want to be way more careful about regarding how we talk about some of this stuff. And there's things that can't be completely verified yet. So again, we don't want to put things out there, but we're happy to discuss them as a concept, right, Chris? There's a difference between reporting and discussing and just saying, hey, this may be the case, right? There's a difference.
And
There you
you
go.
did mention your X page, and I always enjoy looking at your X page. I admit I have a lot
That's
of fun
right.
with it.
Yeah.
Probably the best video you posted was when we heard the news about Tim Walz running for governor again, because, well, he's the
Oh,
coolest guy
God.
ever. I don't know why the Democrats insist on trying to make him the manly man of all manly men ever.
Oh,
Maybe
my
he's
God.
the symbol of masculinity for the Dems, Tony. But let's show our audience, if you haven't seen this yet.
Yeah.
Let's show the Patriots exactly what
He's
how they're
running
trying to
for
pull.
governor, if you didn't know.
Right.
Don't you know?
Rerunning. Yes, rerunning for
Oofta,
governor.
oofta fita,
And we all know how
As
well
they
he's
say
run
in,
that state.
and Brainerd.
Come on.
Program note, that's not really his car. He doesn't own that. That's a prop.
Of course.
That's about $160,000 right there. Just saying. I price these things out because those are pretty cool.
Oh, 1MN. I
doesn't
like the
own that.
license plate. There we go. Vanity plate. You're number one. Well, I think I use another
He's-
digit for that for him, but hey.
He's number
I've been
one
to
in his
every-
own mind.
Every corner of
Look at that.
Minnesota, and there's nothing like it. It's the best place on earth with the best people.
As this guy, he's trying to be a man of the people now. Look at me. I'm the governor. Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
I've
I
seen
won't
how
shoot.
we help
I
each
won't
other
shoot you
through the
this
hard
time with
times.
pellets, with paint pellets. I promise.
And boy, we've seen terrible times this year. I'm heartbroken and angry about the beautiful people we lost to gun violence. But it's in these moments we have to come together. We can't lose
And
hope.
gun violence and burning Minneapolis, which he helped facilitate. Just saying.
That's right. And he loves the smell.
Ugh.
Because I've seen what we can do when
He's like, that's a woman?
We work together, like passing paid family leave and the child tax credit, cutting taxes for the middle class, while also making the largest investments in public safety. We've raised graduation rates to the highest ever.
Well, that's for Minnesota. I'm just kidding. Isn't
Yeah.
St. Olaf in Minnesota? Remember the Golden Girls? I'm just kind of kidding. There
Yep,
too.
that's true.
Worked across party lines to balance the budget while protecting education, and been named one of the best states for children and one.
Well, okay. Isn't this a state that can take the children
Yeah.
from parents if they don't?
Well,
if
and
they
they're,
don't let them
a
transition?
trans haven, safe haven. So, that's what. Did you know that? That's where all of the Trans Ams from Smoking the Bandit went. They went to the trans haven in Minneapolis. Yeah, it's like a big thing of Trans Ams now.
But the
It's a big homage to Burt Reynolds.
the fact is, this is not a state that's safe for children. I'll tell you that.
No,
Of the best for business. But we're not done yet. And that's
No,
why I'm
they're
running
not
for
done.
reelection. I want to make Minnesota a place where everyone has a chance to succeed in
No, he
every
doesn't.
corner of the state.
Yeah, no,
No, he
absolutely
doesn't.
not.
that's a lie.
Where we lower costs for hardworking people who raise our crops, weld our steel, and teach our kids. Crack down on fraud and protect our tax dollars.
Since when did he do this before?
Yeah, what? You've been governor already for like all these years. Why didn't you already do this, Tim?
It was like, I suck, but I'll do better. Vote for me.
Help working class families get affordable health care instead of kicking them off it. Invest in improving our public schools instead of defunding them. Get serious about gun violence and where we protect our rights and freedoms no matter what you look like or who you love. I've always tried to do what's right for Minnesota, and
No,
I'll
he hasn't.
never stop fighting to protect us from the chaos, corruption, and cruelty coming out of Washington.
And there it is.
He brings the cruelty and corruption.
Orange, but there it is. Orange man bad. Him,
Yeah.
Zoran Mamdani, Gavin Newsom, and the like, all the communists are very upset that the people have rejected them, but they're still doubling down on how Orange Man is so bad.
Yeah.
They just don't understand. They have no idea how to connect with people. They
Nope.
seriously, these are people who seriously believe that the people have been totally wrong. So instead of trying to meet them and find out why the people think they're totally wrong, they just double down on what they've been doing and tell you you've been wrong. And you have to vote for them to fix things their way.
Well, to that point, and let's talk about this friend to friend here. We're all friends, right? Why on
Sure.
earth would you, if you're the governor, wait to run for your second term to start fixing this stuff? It's like, oh yeah, we're going to fix this stuff now. And I, if I were him, I would have added in there, and I promise that we've removed all the paintball shooters from the National Guard, so they can't shoot you on your porch. And just like, yeah, we're not gonna let them go down the street and just shoot at you. That's done. And of course, I think he's not going to win because there's one thing he left out. You know what that one thing was?
What was that one thing?
Menards. He didn't mention Menards once in that ad. So if you're
Oh,
from
right.
Minnesota, you don't mention Menards, you're done. It's like, man, it's like, okay, no Menards, no governorship for you, bud. So
You know,
anyway, and by the way, if you are in Minnesota, go to Menards. It's a great place, really it is. So
and the left, and again, going back to the Charlie Kirk shooting, and this is where Minnesota is very significant. The left is trying to push this lie, and the media is trying to help push this lie that Tyler Robinson, the suspect, if you will, and certainly not working alone, but the suspect is some kind of right winger. And
yeah,
because
no, he's not.
A family of,
I don't
because he
think
grew up
right
in a family
wingers
of
date
immigrants.
trans
Right.
men or women, whatever
Well,
they are.
I'm sure there were a couple, not that there's anything wrong with that, but they're not
I
going to
don't
be
care.
assassinating anybody. They're trying to blame it on this Nick Fuentes that I know very little about. But the fact is, there are
You know,
people on the right who don't think Charlie Kirk was right enough. They're trying to blame it on that.
Yeah, it's like, and for those who are, I'm like you. It's like I don't know who he is. I'm not going to check up on him. I just don't care.
Right.
I'm so ambivalent about this Nick guy. It's like I'm not even going to take the time to check.
It doesn't
Because
matter.
it's nonsense. It's
Right.
not even worth our time. We're not even going to talk about it with you. It's not worth your time. It's not worth our time. It's a distraction, right?
Right. But I got a better one for you.
Oh boy.
Montel Williams
Mm-mm-mm.
Williams on CNN decided to try to make this A love
I'm wondering. He blocked me a while back. Let me see if I'm still blocked. Go
All right,
ahead, keep going.
We'll see if you're still blocked. Montel Williams is turning this into a fascinating and loving story of a man defending his furry trans it friend.
Yeah,
Talk about
yeah. This is the
love
new
toward
narrative.
a child, a kid. This is probably his first real relationship, and somebody was disparaging the person that he loved.
But wait a minute. I thought he was just a roommate,
Oh boy.
according to the
Oh
media.
boy.
He sat on that building for 30 minutes before he took the shot. Why did he wait until the first word trans came up? Then he took the shot.
You think he heard it? He could hear
I
it
think
from
he
where
could hear it.
Sure, but he was waiting on the roof there, Monty.
I think he also, I don't believe he was motivated politically. I think this was motivated emotionally.
Guys,
Jennings
Oh,
to the
boy.
rescue.
the evidence here is overwhelming. He said, Charlie Kirk, I can't stand this hate anymore. I'm going to take him out. The testimony from him and the statements of his family, he had become more left wing. He etched the statements that are made by the left about Republicans and conservatives and Charlie Kirk fascists on the bullet casings.
He made a joke about it in his last text.
Well, it doesn't sound like a joke to me because someone's dead and about to be
Exactly.
buried. So it doesn't sound like a
Bingo.
joke to me.
Those
I mean-
jokes-
Right there.
So I'm just
Bingo.
telling you, there is an effort. There was an effort all weekend long on the left to try to make this guy sound like he was a conservative. That failed.
Exactly.
That was passed around all over the weekend. That has now failed. The evidence has now come out. He was motivated by hate. He was motivated by left-wing radicalism. He got mixed up with some trans ideology in his life. We'll learn more about that, I'm sure, when more evidence and testimony comes out. We are looking around the edges of this for something other than what's staring us in the face. Left-wing radicalism got this kid. He went up to a roof and he murdered our friend, and that's what
Let me just
happened.
say,
And that's the truth. This is like, it's right in your face, as plain as day.
Yeah.
This is all despite the media narrative trying to push things in 6 or
Yeah.
7 different directions. They failed once.
Exactly.
They're going to try. Now, watch, the rest of them are going to try to take a swing at this too, making it an emotional attack. But the fact is,
And
It's right
and
there.
again, let me
left-wing
make that
radicalization.
point. Yeah, for those who follow me on Facebook, there's going to be a post later today. I think they're going to get to it finally. I did a talk on Saturday to the women's Republicans over in Elizabeth City. It's on my Facebook. You guys can go check it out. It's public. And I talk about how the left takes certain words and phrases and uses them to make themselves more attractive. They basically harvest and franchise anger and resentment. And so the same thing here is they're trying to take the idea that we're angry. Oh, we're all angry. But this is just an innocent thing. This is just a puppy love, right, Chris?
I
What?
suppose.
Why are you upset with? Oh, yes, it's puppy love. It was their first time ever going out and holding hands.
Oh,
It's nonsense. If it
Yep.
results in murder, especially assassination, it's not nice. You know, I mean, I'm just so fed up with this. Like,
Oh,
it was
and-
the first love. Oh,
And have you seen some of our social media liberal friends? Have you seen them try to put up little, trying to juxtapose the Charlie Kirk assassination with the murder of the state senate, this leader of the state senate in Minnesota, the woman and her
yeah.
husband,
The guy was not a Republican.
No, he was a
I'm
left-
fed up with that too.
a left-wing radical and Walls appointee. That's what
Yeah,
he was.
you just
but they're
saw
trying to put it and make us
you just
believe
saw
it.
Tim Walz. We just watched Tim Walz being all macho.
Right.
By the way, did you know that he had latex underwear on during the filming of that? It's a little secret, insider secret. Just saying.
Oh, he ordered it from my site, so
He did. So
and
It
you
said-
wanted to be
it
my
said-
latex salesman.
it basically says on the back, "Don't tread on me."
Oh,
Just saying. Anyway,
I
You
thought
can
it
do
said
other
two
things,
balls,
though.
no strikes.
anyway, I don't want to digress. My point being is that nobody works for Tim Walz who was not a progressive commissar. Just saying. Tim Walz does not have Republicans working for him. Right, Chris?
No, and if it's a token
Just saying.
Republican, it's somebody that may have had it in the past but leans his way. And this is again,
It's not
left-wing
Republican.
violence has to. Look, it's time to have a serious conversation about this. If this is
Yeah.
all right wingers, you and I, and we'd have a round table of people from the right discussing how we can stop this. But the
Right.
left keeps doubling down on it. They keep denying it, and they keep trying to push it to the other side. They project.
Right.
What we're going to project
Right.
right now is our guest, though.
Oh,
Welcome, Michelle Steeb.
Michelle, good morning.
Glad to join you. I hope I hope our conversation is as lively as this last one has been.
Oh, it'll be lively. Anytime you have Tim Walz in a conversation, it's very light on its feet, right, Chris?
Yeah, wait, who's calling me light on my feet? I have a gun. See, I'm cool. I'm a man.
He's got his rifle and his gun, and apparently he likes big horses with guns too, right, Chris?
Absolutely.
He's a
And
big
by
fan
the
of
way,
horses.
And
Yeah.
Michelle, do you know that that there's a movie coming? There's a movie in the works that centers around Tim Walz's war exploits. It's called
Oh,
Full Dinner Jacket.
I was not aware. I will look forward to catching that, at least clips of it when it comes out.
You didn't expect this
Yeah.
one, did you, Michelle? Well,
All right.
But right now, we talked about city crime here in on this show several times, and one of the main subsets of Democrat-run or poorly run Democrat cities is the major homeless problem, which it seems that they like to give lip service to, but never really address. And you have homeless people who really need houses. You have mentally ill who are running around on the streets and homeless, and you have homeless veterans. These are very horrible. There's a horrible things that are happening right now. All we get is lip service from the polls, especially on the left, and they get into office, they never do anything about it. Let's
Right.
get into it. Let's talk about you, your book, and everything else.
Sure.
Yeah, tell us
looking
about the
forward-
book, Michelle.
So I spent 13 years on the front lines running what became Northern California's largest program for homeless women and children. My husband in 2019 took a job that was based in Sacramento, California. My husband in 2019 took a job in the North Dallas area. So we relocated, and I decided to write a book on all of my learnings over those 13 years and what it takes to move people struggling with homelessness, but they're most often struggling with many other issues in
Right.
addition to homelessness, such as mental illness, such as addiction, such as domestic violence in the female population, and criminal histories. So there's a very complex these are very complex issues that need to be addressed comprehensively and holistically, right? You can't just address one, you need to address all of them. We built that system. I shared that system in the book and several 11 stories of women who had, come to us in the depths of despair, turn their lives around. Because I wanted to not just provide the roadmap, but provide hope. People are they're so becoming so numb to the situation because, as you alluded to, we keep hearing promises. We're going to end it. We're going to fix it. We're going to, Gavin Newsom has the most robust promises. He not only has claimed he's going to fix it, but he's claimed he's going to end homelessness in the family population in 5 years. And it's now up almost 40%, right? So we're just tired. We're watching people suffer on the streets. We're watching increasingly so. We're watching politicians promise to end it, spend billions and billions and billions to do so, and it not turning around. So I really wanted to provide, again, the roadmap to how to do this, but also the hope that it can be done. It can be turned around.
Michelle, yeah. So Michelle, just off the top of your head, what is the number of homeless right now in California? Just a rough thousand,
Well, according to HUD data, which is off, it's significantly off. It's somewhere around 200,000. But if you look at Department of Education data, it's much, much higher. So there's a whole reason behind that. I can explain it to you or your listeners. And
so my point being is, if you took that number and divided it by $22 billion, you could pretty much give everybody a house, right? I mean, that's my point. It's like,
Well, that's another problem. You can't really
Not
can't
yeah,
give people a house.
not at $1 million clip per house, right? And that's what they're averaging in California communities across the country. Never mind that that's not the solution for the vast majority of
No,
the
I'm just
homeless.
saying, but
Yeah.
I'm just trying to give people an understanding of the amount of money that's been spent.
Yeah.
And there's two ways I want to go on this. First off, I recognize that this is a legitimate effort. I always encourage people to donate only to causes and people they know do the job. You guys did the job, and that's wonderful. People ought to go out and read about it. My other issue is that $22 billion went to organizations that said they do what you do, but they didn't. They were grifts. So one of my issues is that so much of what's going on in California right now, you've got probably about 5% of the NGOs and nonprofits doing what you do. The rest are all just in it for the money. Is that harsh? Is that too harsh?
No, it's absolutely true, and the reason is because in 2013, we as a country, by the way, the federal government is the largest funder of homelessness, so they really drive policy in this
Yep.
area.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I said this.
Yes, we as a country said, and it was the Obama administration that did this, we're only going to do one thing as it relates to addressing homelessness. We're only going to give everyone who enters homelessness keys to an apartment for life. And we're not going to require them to be sober. We're not going to require them to engage in work ever. We're not going to require them to, participate in their healing, right? They're as we discussed earlier, about 80% are struggling with mental illness and or addiction. And then on top of that, they have another disease of the brain, as is classified by the CDC, called anosognosia, meaning they are so sick, they don't understand how sick they are. They have a deficit of self-awareness. So they are sick. And we said as a country, we're just going to give them, keys to an apartment for life. And it's been, and President Obama at the time literally promised in writing that this would end homelessness in a decade. We're now at the highest point we've ever been in our nation's history, almost 35% up since that promise was made. And people are sick and tired of being promised that this was going to turn around. And thank God, President Trump said, no more, enough is enough. We need to prioritize federal funding to treatment and recovery services. We need to move people out of these encampments into programs where they can heal and grow and eventually prosper. And I'm so thankful to this administration for finally addressing what needed to be done for a long time.
I did a talk, as I mentioned earlier on the show, Saturday, about how the left franchises failure. They will take and see something like this, like, oh, let's fund something that keeps it going. And they keep it going indefinitely without any intent of resolving it. And that's the way I see it. And I think that's what you're saying. And your book probably shows that. People ought to go out and check it out. But
just to add to that, I'm sorry to interrupt. On Thursday, the National Alliance to End Homelessness, right? The homeless advocate organization is suing the Trump administration because they want to fix this problem and move in a different direction. How these people can look at themselves in the eyes and in the mirror rather, and see the kind of suffering going on our streets, what it's done to businesses and communities and the homeless. How they can look at themselves in the mirror and argue that they're advocates for the homeless is beyond me.
Oh, this is an orange man bad thing. The fact is, these people could take the opportunity and apply or work with the federal government, apply for some funding with obvious supervision as to where the money's going, and take action like they keep saying they're going to. But a lot of these organizations need to keep relevance. And unfortunately, without the problem there or a lessened problem there, these organizations become less relevant. Their CEOs, their executives don't make their money anymore. And that's another thing. So that's why you see a lot of these special interest groups. Either they try to keep the problem exasperated, or they find another problem to use to make some money. This is something. And another thing, I live near New York City, where we had this Mayor de Blasio, who helped exasperate the homeless problem there by allowing people to sleep more in the streets again, and figures, hey, what about addicts? Best way to fix them, instead of try to cure them and house them somewhere and get them clean, put together some free needle centers. There you go. This is encouragement of homelessness, and that's what he and other blue cities have been doing.
Absolutely.
Well, so yeah, so I want to cover that briefly because veterans and other homeless, there's no doubt a huge veteran homeless problem, but there are programs for them. I mean, they only have to reach out. Every time I'm a disabled veteran, so every time I call in, the first thing they ask, are you homeless? Do you need help? So I don't want to hear this from the left. Oh, services are being cut. It's like, no, 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 no. If you are a veteran and you need help, the first thing they ask you when you call them is like, do you need help? Is there
Yes.
something we can do?
Yeah.
So it's not about, for at least veterans, not having that as a resource. It's a mental issue. It's mental issues. Sometimes it's drug related. A lot of these things are drug related. People get off in, get disconnected from friends, family. They become addicted to things. They give up hope. They live in despair. I'm a recovering alcoholic, so I remember some of the, I've been sober for over 32 years now. So I've not
Congratulations.
completely forgotten, thank you, the despair of what I felt like before I hit my bottom. But some people hit that bottom and they stay there, that they live in the bottom. And that's what we're dealing with here, right, Michelle? We're talking about a lot of people who basically have forgotten how to live. And they basically, it's like we just go from hit to hit, from high to high, from drink to drink, and they exist. And that's what I see in Seattle and some of these other towns where they allow unlimited drug use. LA, some of these places, right? I mean, a lot of this has to do with recovery from dependency on alcohol or substances and having this mental illness known as despair. Is that a fair kind of framing?
Yes, it is. And I just want to be clear that there are some cases, I saw this in my 13 years with thousands of women and children, there are some cases where addiction and mental illness or mental illness precede homelessness. There are many other cases where homelessness actually facilitates addiction and mental illness, right? There's not an either or. But the bottom line is the same. We've got to heal. We've got to give them programs to heal from these diseases, because you cannot get a job if you can't, function, if you can't stay sober. You cannot take care of yourself and your family. And that is the fundamental issue with our system today. We don't do that. And that's why President Trump's executive order is so meaningful. Lots of work ahead to build the system to get people on that path, because the system for the last 12 years, as we've discussed, is all about giving people keys to an apartment unit and washing their hands of it. So we've got a lot of work ahead, but it's the right work, and I'm really excited about our future.
So let's go through that. So you've basically said, and I'm going to paraphrase here, correct me if I'm wrong, defund the Obama programs of giving people money or resources and hoping for the best. Like, hope isn't a strategy, right?
No, hope is not a strategy. It's a good thing to have, but it's not a strategy. Yes.
Right. So now we're talking about bringing back, and I'm in trouble locally because I've been calling out an organization that will remain nameless because they basically are more focused on maintaining a budget. They like harvest money, and then they brag about how much they have, and they've gotten so focused on managing money, they're not even focused on how well you're doing your mission. It's all about managing numbers. So we got to stop that stuff. We got to actually, you got the funding, but how are you using the funding? And I think that's where we're at. What do you think the best three things can be for President Trump to do at the federal level? And then what can state officials do to help us? So just go ahead and give us kind of where this is all going to go with the executive order that you think should go. So
sure. So the most important thing is that there is no one size fits all approach. And even if you believe there was housing first, which is this approach that we talked about, just give them keys to an apartment for life with no conditions. It certainly is not that, even if you believe there's a one size fits all approach to this. Number two, you need to fund transitional, meaning temporary, right? I mean, I'm not saying 30 days, because recovery is, as you understand personally, Tony, recovery is often a long journey that has a lot of
It is
twists.
a long journey, and it doesn't get
Yes,
any better or easier. It's like
absolutely.
no, once you get sober, it's like it just changes the class of your problems. You don't stop getting problems. It just you get better problems to solve. That's all. Just saying.
Right. And we used to say at St. John's, the program I ran for 13 years, once you get sober, you have to learn how to parent sober. You have to learn how to work sober. You have to
Oh
learn
yeah.
how to
Oh yeah.
function daily sober. And that is, it's not an overnight process. So we need
No.
to fund transitional, again, temporary, but not 30 days, right? My program was 12 to 18 months. I think that's along the lines of what most will need to heal. But as long as they're making progress along the way, we should continue to support them in these transitional
Yeah,
environments.
progress, not perfection. Progress, not
Exactly.
perfection, as they say in the
Right.
program. Yeah.
And
And by the way,
then
you're not talking about trans like the trans shooter. Just saying, it's transitional. Just saying.
transitional, yes. Oh, sorry.
It's a joke. It's a no. It's a joke.
I was
It's
like,
in
that's
fact,
a
no.
big
We're
mistake if I
making
made
fun of
that.
Smokey and the Bandit and Trans Ams yesterday too.
That's
Yeah,
right.
You
yeah.
know,
We do that.
just saying.
We do that.
So
We do that. Keep
third
going.
thing I would say is we citizens, voters, have got to hold our elected officials accountable. One of the things that has driven me crazy over the last 12 years, and you talked about these nonprofits that are,
Oh.
so excited about how much money they're raising. The
Yeah.
reason they are able to do this is HUD has not held them under the past administrations. HUD has not held them accountable to results. They haven't held them accountable to audits. They haven't held them accountable to results overall. And now that this system is, I often say the president's turned the battleship in the right direction, but now we need to hold everyone accountable, from the individual, right, who's struggling with homelessness. They need to be held accountable for, for what it takes to heal and grow and eventually prosper. The nonprofit, there are 12 nonprofits right now in San Francisco, homeless serving nonprofits, that are under investigation for misuse of funds. The major organization in LA, the CEO all of a sudden resigned, LA Alliance to End Homelessness. And it turns out a whistleblower has identified that, she hired a contractor who within a 24-hour period was giving her a lap dance. I want to see the scope of work in that.
Now,
Right?
now you know why she got hired, and maybe she's
Wow.
very talented in that
Yeah.
way. Okay, there we go.
I mean, but I'm joking. I mean, it's but it's not funny, right? These people were making tons of money. They were producing more homelessness, and we need to hold them accountable. And then we need to hold our elected officials accountable. We cannot continue to support the kind of misery and failure we've been supporting over the last 12 years. And it's time to hold. If elected leaders want to continue status quo, like we just talked about the National Alliance wanting to do, kick them out of their jobs and find new people who are going to, want to do better.
Well, here's another a little issue, and small cities face the same problem. Again, I live in Orange County. We had this big thing going on in Newburgh, Wilmington, of other places. As a matter of fact, there's a Newburgh city manager who, well, let's get into this. There are people called poverty barons. They happen to hold elected office, or they run these organizations, if you will, that we were alluding to. I'm not saying all of them are, but I am saying there's a good number of poverty barons that know they can make a good salary and they can make some good money advocating for the homeless and really not doing anything. They bring writing grants and bringing money into a city, doing their job and just kind of flowing the money around wherever they want, but still not really addressing the problem except in a token way. The idea is, as long as the poverty and the homelessness is still there, these people have jobs and they have elected office, and they can pretty much keep it going by saying, hey, see this homeless problem? We did this here. Vote for me or keep me in, and I'll do a little bit more. But they realize that their very livelihoods are dependent on keeping people homeless. So how do we stop that kind of cycle?
We demand results. So, what this executive order is allowing us to do as a system is redefine success. In the old way, right, the housing first way, success was keys to an apartment. We need to now say success is people are sober. People are being they're not engaging in criminal activities. They are addressing their mental illness. They are saving, money. They are getting a job. Their kids are in school. All these things we need to measure as part of our definition of success. And when we have a very clear definition of success, we're going to be able to look at the politicians who have supported that or not and say, time for a new job, time for you to be done. And that right now, people don't understand what the definition of success has been. When we make it clear in this new system we're building, it will become very clear which politicians, which organizations are deserving of continuing in their role.
Well, that's the thing. And I said the other day in this talk I did, it's like, I'm fundamentally lazy. I'm too lazy to keep doing the same thing over and over. It's like, come on, let's get to, because and now being an elected official, I recognize, especially since we run a very tight budget down here, we're mostly Republicans. We got only 2 Democrats. The rest of us are Republican on the county commission. And I just want to get things done. I don't want to mess around. I don't want to have to manage homelessness. I want it resolved. I don't want to have homeless camps. I want people to be transitioned out of camps into society. And there's ways of doing that. And it's like, the left didn't seem to be interested in it. It's like, no. We're fine with homeless camps. We don't want to interfere. We don't want to tell people if they can take drugs or not. It's like, oh, okay, that's really smart.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference. It's like, and I think it's been noted, as much as I make fun of Gavin Newsom and his Kevlar hair, that he, out of all of the things that have gone on in California, his plan to end homelessness made it worse. There's more homeless now than before, right? That's
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's gone up 40% in California since they instituted housing first as a one-size-fits-all approach in 2016. It's been a massive failure.
Actually, we have a solution to that. Gavin Newsom should have the Chinese Communist Party leadership come and visit him more often. This way, he can clean up the streets at least for a couple of days.
Yeah, and talk about lack of accountability. Why is no one talking about how he just let it go back, right? I mean, he cleaned it up. He showed everyone he knew what to do, and then he just let it go back, and no one is holding him accountable.
Because he's a Democrat. He didn't care. It was just for his masters, his Chinese masters. That's why.
Yes.
His pal, Uncle Jinping, is gone. So why bother?
Yeah.
He's going to order clothes from Shine later on, I guess. I don't know.
Heaven help us if he is the Democrat nominee. Heaven help us.
Well, that's the thing. But I know we make fun of this stuff, but it's true. There's a basic philosophy that again, I'm in the solution phase. I'm just, I just want to figure out, how do we do this? I have no preconceived notion. And by the way, I understand the think tank challenges because Chris and I are part of, or we were part of, we kind of still are, the London Center for Policy Research out of New York. We did national security and other policy. And it's harder than hell to actually run a think tank that does its job. Otherwise, all you're doing is sucking up to people who want to give you money to basically advocate for what they want. And in this case, I'm sure it's hard to find money for solutions because everybody wants to have the discussion continues. Like, oh, no. To your point, we don't want to resolve this because what are we going to do then? If we end homelessness, we set up a think tank only on homelessness. We got to study it. So if we want to study it, we want to keep it going. And that's why I've said the left wants to franchise the worst elements of society so they can maintain it. And that's something we have to get past. Right, Chris?
Yep. And again, we have to try to find a way to weed out these poverty barons in city government too, because they're the ones. It's a network. They bring these people in. It's almost another USAID like money laundering scheme at a smaller scale, but still wide enough, but more human suffering involved.
Yeah. It really is. Again, it's just unconscionable how people can sit by and say they want to continue the current policy, right?
So, but I think there may be a way of combining some skills there in San Francisco, because if you think about it, you could have a think tank that specializes in both homelessness and lap dances, because there's probably some burlesques so you kind of combine that way. You save money. You do both. You can have like homeless counseling during the day and lap dances at night, right, Chris?
Yeah, you might be able to
That'd be
fund
kind
it
of a
off the
useful thing.
tips.
The Democrats
could
would love
work.
it, I'm sure.
A big
Yeah.
hey-o for that one. There we go.
So Tony,
Yeah.
I started a
Yeah.
nonprofit
We need
that
to have,
has
like-
I started a nonprofit that it's called Free Up Foundation. I will send you some information separately on how we turn this around at the regional
Please
level.
do.
How you
Please
put
do.
a system in place. Yeah. Happy to help.
Good. Good.
Once
So
again,
anyway, check out her book.
check out the website,
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
MichelleSteeb.com. The book is here. You can find out more about her, MichelleSteeb.com. By the way, quick note, tomorrow, Trixie, George, and Sean are going to have a special guest. We're going to make sure we talk about him as well. That'd be Wilfred Riley. He'll be going on for tomorrow as well. That's going to be a lot of fun too. So we always have some cool guests here, don't we? All of us here, all 5 of us. You're in the cool guest category, Michelle.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I've enjoyed our discussion. I look forward to continuing it.
Yeah, Michelle. And by the way, just and just where'd Chris go? So anyway, just for the record, Michelle, I saw that on your website there, you had Dr. Phil. Just for the record, Dr. Phil is not homeless, right? He's not homeless.
No.
Not even close.
No, he's showless now, right?
No, okay. I just want to make
He
sure.
has a channel though.
He's showless. No, I know. But he's
on
but
the-
he doesn't live on the street. I just want to make sure people don't get the wrong impression.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's showless though. He actually runs the Merit TV network, which is interesting. Mostly runs reruns of his old shows.
That's right.
Yes.
But it's still an interesting set of programs, and a lot of these shows are evergreen. So,
Yeah.
look, he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a political lean all the time, but he does kind of lean mainly towards common sense for the most part. He tries to, and he does sit people down and ask them questions, and that's what you need. So that's fine. I'm okay with Dr. Phil. He tries. He does his best.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like him. I think he does a great job. And I'm glad Oprah didn't eat him for like a meal at some point. So that was good. That would have been bad.
Pritzker will be
Tragedy.
fighting over that meal.
Yes.
That's right.
There's not enough meat.
So yeah. So Michelle, that's
Let's
a
eat Ted
good
balls
question.
instead.
So do you think? So yeah, let me ask you that question. Do you think the homeless suffer in Chicago because of the lack of food from Pritzker and Oprah eating all of it and not giving enough to the people who need it? Is that possible? Is that create a shortage? Because they're pretty big on all you can eat, so to speak. So anyway, but I digress.
Well, I will just say that the homeless suffer in Chicago because of policy, not because of lack of food.
And these socialists
Well, that's
come
good
in
to
there-
know.
Yeah, these socialists come in there and say they'll solve all the problems. They make things worse too. And again, because
I do.
they need the homeless there to show people, hey, look, I can solve this problem. Well, you guys haven't done it for how
Yeah.
many years now? But we'll vote for you anyway.
Yes.
That's right. That's like Tim Walz's pitch. I'm going to fix all these things I didn't fix for the last 4 years as governor, but you can trust me this time. That's right.
Yeah.
That'll be
I'll get to
Hochul's
it this
slogan.
time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
so
think
we'll
our
Michelle.
standards hopefully are changing with this president, this administration, seeing how they can dive in and fix things that we were told, needed a lot of other congressional resolutions or whatever, right? They're just diving in.
I hope
and
so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Hopefully our standards change.
They're severely
Right.
like
Well,
record
Michelle-
stores that don't right. They're severely
Yeah.
like record stores that don't have Mojo Nixon. They really need some fixing.
They do. I like Mojo Nixon. He's cool.
Oh, big fan.
He did the thing about Don Henley, right?
Yeah, Don Henley must die. I actually had the
Yeah,
privilege
he
of
did.
interviewing him a year before he passed on.
Yeah. Not Don Henley, Mojo Nixon. You need
Mojo
to be clear
Nixon,
on who passed.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So anyway, well, Michelle, thank you for being here. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Put the site back up, Chris.
I shall.
Yeah. Check it out. Check her out. Check out what she's doing. This is important. She's in the solution space just like we are. So this is good. And we'll look forward to having you back because we want to continue
Thank
this
you.
discussion.
Really look forward to that too. Thank you.
Yeah. So, and for y'all to remember, tomorrow night, Thursday, is my interview with Catherine Herridge. Finally. Oh, how many years
Nice.
we've been talking about this, Chris?
Oh, I would say about 2, 3 now. Yeah, we were trying to get this on about
Finally.
2 past shows of yours. We're trying to get on something. We were
Anyway, she
Nope.
got some restrictions. She had to get permissions and stuff, even though she's technically kind of on her own. There's some things that, she's doing. Anyway,
Right.
so tomorrow, 8 o'clock, we're going to have a half an hour discussion with her on 9/11 stuff. So
and after this, we're going to start a
be
poll.
there or be square. Yeah. What's
Right.
that?
And we're going to start a poll after this. Michelle, you could be part of this too. We're going to actually ask the Patriots at what day, month, and year will we find out that Tony Schaefer has been followed by a guy with an apple bobber hat and an antique car, gasses his house and sends him to the village where they want information from him. Yes. Bad
Yeah, we're going
prisoner
to find that
reference,
out.
but
Yeah,
we're going to find out.
definitely look forward to those poll results. Yeah.
Well, I look forward to trying to escape in a helicopter like they do. I did helicopter stuff over the weekend, but
Just
that's a
watch out
prisoner
for any
reference
white.
as well.
Yeah, watch out for white balloons. That's about it.
Yeah, big white balloons.
And if Nana was
All right,
there,
we
she
gotta
would
go.
have commissioned 99 of them. But again, different story.
Yep.
Okay.
And 99, Barbara Feld, right?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Oh, Max.
That was my
Chief, we need
softball.
to use the cone of silence. Oh, Max, you know that never works. We need, but I insist.
The shoe phone.
Yeah, that was good. And Jaime was what was he, not like 86? No, he was 96.
No,
something like that, right?
Max was 86, which by the way was my last softball number uniform. I used to use number pi, and I switched to 86. So that's
Smart.
all. That's all a long time ago. But there was, I think, what was it? 44 was in there. 22 was only in the nude bomb, which was
That's right.
That's another story for another day. But anyway, yes.
Anyway, we're geezing. Yeah, we're geezing on our 60s spy stuff. So, and we gotta go. Michelle, thank you for being here.
Okay. Thank you
Patriots,
so
thanks for being
much.
here. You all have a great day. And
Okay,
I will see you tomorrow night. Follow me on X. Get in there. We're going to have this great thing with Catherine. And we'll be back Monday, right, Chris? On this.
That's right. We shall be. And yeah, it'll be a lot of fun tomorrow.
Maybe, because I'm negotiating a contract right now that we'll see how that goes. Just saying.
Oh, this could be tough.
I've asked for an exception. Yeah. So we'll see if they give me that or not. So anyway.
Thanks so much, y'all.
We'll see. Thank you, Michelle. And thank you,
Okay.
Patriots. We'll see you all soon.